And welcome to Greenhour 77. The national conversation on energy efficiency continues here live on 103.8 and 107.5. And welcome to all those listening via live streaming across the country, in fact across the world, on kingfisherfm.co.za. It's our 77th episode as we continue to fight and pioneer and champion the cause of energy efficiency. And it's been an exciting journey over the last few weeks, hearing about what local projects are happening. Well, it doesn't get any more local than what we're talking about today. We're joining in studio by the AIDC, Kushen Naidoo, one of the project managers. The AIDC stands for the Automotive Industry Development Centre. I mean, what a great initiative from them to support the local automotive industry, and particularly when it comes to energy. Well, how are we going to keep our edge regarding in the automotive industry, and when it comes to these increasing costs? We're going to find out. Kushen joins us now. Kushen, nice to have you with us here on the Greenhour.
Good morning, Gareth. Thank you for joining.
Tell us a little bit about the AIDC, what you guys do. As far as I understand, you supporting and the massive automotive industry here in Port Elizabeth.
Yes. The AIDC, for those who don't know, is the Automotive Industry Development Centre, which has been established to assist in the increase in the global competitiveness of the South African automotive industry to world-class levels through main departments which are skills development and training.
Welcome back to the Greenhour on Kingfisher FM.
Welcome back to Greenhour 77. Kushen Naidoo from the AIDC joins us in studio. We're talking about the work of the AIDC on the back of the news. 26 million rand in energy savings been made over the last 3 years. That's incredible stuff from the AIDC. Well, a few things I wanted to tap into Kushen's thoughts here. Firstly, Brian Dom, CEO of Eskom, just announcing that we are likely to have load shedding. It's going to be very tight. They have to do the maintenance over this winter period. And I asked the question, I mean, is this affecting our edge here in the Eastern Cape? I mentioned the Detroit of Africa. I mean, are we losing the edge even on the continent, even globally, because of these rising costs? And your thoughts about Brian's comments?
Well, Gareth, I think that the rising electricity costs have affected industry as a whole, but likely affect factories within the automotive sector here in the Eastern Cape have identified a number of energy efficiency projects for implementation, which is very, very good because they're actually taking initiative. Many companies have taken the initiative of energy efficiency since 2010, when the first cleaner production AIDC program was developed and implemented. To date, as I mentioned earlier, we've had 13 suppliers join our program. It's a year contract. With the government funding. As the AIDC at the moment, we're currently in the process, trying to stay ahead of the game and assist the auto industry all the time. So we're trying to develop new initiatives. So at the moment, we're developing a new improved cleaner production program to our current process, with the use of additional funding from various entities. We also plan to launch the new program in about 2 to 3 months to a maximum of 5 to 6 companies here in the Eastern Cape itself. Based on the need, we can hold another initiative like this once this is established. Our aim here at this process would be, or this new contract would be, a major focus on expert energy management systems in order to sustain the savings made to date, because one can implement savings and then 2 years later we fall away and we just implement the old technology again because it's actually cheaper, and the ultimate aim is to reduce energy efficiency. So energy management is very, very important in energy efficiency.
It sounds like the guys are very focused on sort of sorting it out before the crisis comes.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
So, but it is coming.
Correct.
There's no doubt about it. The maintenance has to happen for Eskom. So it's going to be about how you embrace it and how you prepare for it rather than what will happen afterwards. Okay. Let's talk about the carbon tax quickly. We mentioned it in the news headlines there. I mean, that's coming on board. Is it something that's been prepared for by the automotive industry here, especially if I can imagine vehicles at the moment are very much part of it?
Correct. A lot of companies have, they are aware of the initiative coming in 2015. The commencement of carbon tax in January 2015 basically serves as a clear call to action for all greenhouse gas emitters in South Africa. Greenhouse gas emissions need to be measured and effectively managed to avoid heightened exposure to the future of tax, which forms part of your energy management systems. So, in other words, I would say if companies are not preparing for it, then they should begin with a focus on energy efficiency, touching into renewable energy where feasible, and then the following year for 2014, focus on the energy management systems in order to sustain the achieving, so that when 2015 comes, the impact is not as high.
Okay. Is it going to change Is it already changing mentality and best practice for business?
Yes, that's correct. Top management is well aware of it.
Okay.
What we're trying to enforce is the lower management, team leaders and operators of industry to actually get involved with energy saving initiatives.
Okay, and I see even vehicles in their marketing, they're even bringing it up like as they're using it as part of their marketing of their vehicles, that we've got low emissions on our vehicles. So when you buy us, you only pay R1,000 carbon tax or whatever instead of like 5,000 on your bigger guzzlers.
Yeah,
so it's become a part of the even marketing aspect. So it shows you it's infiltrating right into automotive industry.
Yes, correct.
But how about the component side of things? Because we've got a lot of those guys. Are they even aware of it?
Yes, they are. They're actually taking initiative as well. A lot of factories are focusing on energy efficiency. Of course, energy efficiency is one of the most cost-effective methods of reducing your greenhouse gases and thereby combating climate change, which is happening. So, if you focus on energy efficiency, it is the cheapest way to save electricity, or your carbon tax.
Okay, all right. And for local industry, is this going to put a burden cost onto them?
Well, look, it's going to be like a bouncing ball because carbon tax also makes use of clean renewable energy forms such as wind and solar more cost effective with fossil fuels. Therefore, if I call it the dirty fuels like oil and coal more expensive, therefore carbon tax encourages utilities, businesses and individuals to reduce energy consumption and increase energy efficiency.
Okay, so they are aware of it. They are making provision for it. It's not going to make things more costly.
It could, but if we focus on energy efficiency, saving electricity aspect, that's why I say the bouncing effect.
Okay, all right. And that'll be the same for components because the concern is that the components they'll put up a little bit of a charge. The cars will need to put up, the manufacturers will have to put up a charge. At the end of the day, and we're going to see this on bread and milk one of these days,
Correct.
There's going to be carbon tax on everything. And you'll become more and more aware of your footprint, your carbon footprint.
That is correct.
I hear them even talking about a water footprint nowadays. So just being aware of the amount of energy that we use, because we have, as we've heard before, become a bit of a beast in the way that we've used it. So greater concerns. Your thoughts quickly about electric vehicles? You're working closely with the VWs, the GMs, Mercedes-Benz. Are they looking at producing electric vehicles?
Well, to my personal experience, I feel electric vehicles are the way of the future, but I do see a huge increase in 5 to 10 years' time at the moment.
But certainly not at the moment. Within the next 2 years.
I'm not too clued up with actual.
Well, look,
VW,
I know that T have obviously launched their big project to at least get the manufacturer support. So I would agree with you. 5 to 10 years, we could see a big change. We're certainly on where Europe are at, where they've installed 200 new electric charging stations around Europe. They're going big for us.
Yeah, no, they are the good guys.
And of course, VW and Mercedes are based there. So you know that our technology, and even America, where GM is based, you know that they are making provision for this. But we will 5 to 10 years probably find ourselves moving that way. I just can't imagine us doing that. It's going to be such a huge shift of mentality.
It will be a big change for us. Yes,
but it's coming.
It is coming.
There we go. Right, so electric vehicles. I'm just not sure that incentive, it's a great one that's come out from government 35%, but I can't see it happening within the next year or so.
Yeah, at the moment, companies are focusing on energy efficiency, so we need to reduce our carbon tax in some sense. And so at the moment, a lot of factories are focusing on it. So when the time comes for carbon taxing, it will be reduced because of the focus on energy efficiency. Yeah,
well, it's a great opportunity for us with Kushen to be here as well. This is energy saving tips coming through for major industry players here in Nelson Mandela Bay. But what about for the listeners out there as we head into winter, load shedding likely? Are you also going to tell us to put blankets when we wash the dishes on, like our CEO of Eskom is telling us? What's some of the tips that you want to give us?
Well, just quickly for household, just 3 tips. Timers on geysers, very, very important. If you can, change them to heat pumps. Also, switching off unnecessary lights and pool pumps, importantly. We're not going to swim in winter. And then the use of hot water bottles instead of heaters. I feel that's very, very important. That keeps you warm and it uses less energy. Ask your girlfriends or somebody to buy you hot water bottles.
Hot water bottles.
Yes.
There we go.
Correct.
No, that's not true. You probably tapped on three very important elements there. Number, just in terms of the households, is that the geyser is like it's so energy intensive and hungry. It's the biggest place for you to start and
Correct.
easiest way to save energy. Lights is another one. Pool pumps. And in fact, there are great incentives out and about. Pool pumps, geyser timers, lights, and even energy saving shower heads included in that. And then, look for natural heat as much as possible, rather than, and I find even in my home, if I close the curtains after the sun has gone down, I have more heat staying in the house rather
Correct.
than leaving the windows. So, it's just simple, practical things. What about for the business owner going into industry? Some more
For
tips
industry, quick savings would be, of course, your low-hanging fruit of staggered startups, which companies are struggling with a little bit to reduce demand charges and keep the electricity supply.
staggered startups. They don't
Yes.
don't walk in the morning and switch everything on.
Everything on one go. We stagger them. We start them up in intervals. Of course, switching off unnecessary equipment is very, very important. Scheduling production during certain off-peak times where it's cheaper to run production, very, very important as well. And then, of course, staggered lunch breaks for operators. Now, that comes into your staggered startups as well, where we don't want to switch machines off during lunch times. We'd rather have staggered operators
Yes.
working on specific times. So I think
Okay.
that is the quick wins which we've seen in industry. And,
But bottom line is switch off if you don't need it.
Correct. Yes,
But obviously
that's it.
you take into fact that if you are reliant on a big boiler, you're not going to just switch it off.
No,
and switch.
understandable.
But looking at each sort of situation, but there's a lot of opportunities. And just Sylvia just messaging us saying, what about all the shopping centres and hotels and petrol stations? You have endless lights on at night, and I mean, surely they can be playing a part as we head into a
course.
tight winter.
Yes, there are certain timers, various timers available, as well as occupancy sensors to switch those off.
Okay, fantastic. Kushen, thank you so much for your time. AIDC doing a fantastic job. And the reason we've got Kushen here is on the back of the news that the automotive sector is leading in energy reduction. 26 million rand saved, 56 gigawatt hours over the last 3 years. It's an incredible saving, and look forward to more. Hey, I'm sure you guys are feeling the pressure to increase that. Eh?
Yes, correct.
Kushen, thank you so much for your time. Well done to the AIDC. We look forward to having you guys again with us.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. That's Greenhour 77 concluded for you. Don't forget to go along to our website, greenhour.saee.org.za. Or quite simply, just click on kingfisherfm.co.za. Look out for the Green Hour logo, and it'll click on that. It'll take you straight to the website. And all 77 episodes available on the website there for you. Those interviews you can listen to, both local, national, and international stories available, like what the AIDC are doing here in Nelson Mandela Bay. And remember, if not now, then when? If not us, who? I think the time is upon us to do something about it. I want to encourage you, play your part in reducing the energy consumption. I'll tell you what, we can get through this winter without load shedding if every one of us plays our part. So do what you can and speak up regarding some of these issues. Absolutely, I agree. Shopping centres, hotels, petrol stations do have a huge role to play. Right, and go along to Facebook. You can follow us. All the latest posts are also available there. That's the Green Hour South Africa, and on Twitter, the Green Hour SA. Until next Wednesday, 8 to 9 for Green Hour 78. Don't forget to go along to that website and join us for the national conversation on energy efficiency.